We have 3 weeks to go in my transformation. I'm really pleased with the 7 weeks so far. It's been a hell of a journey in terms of sort of my physical ability and my mental attitude toward things.
The sort of sessions that we can now do, whether it's DTP, doing 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, increasing the weight and decreasing it as necessary, he wouldn't have been able to do that at the beginning. The same with some of these supersets where we're working for 45, 50 seconds, let alone the interval training he's now doing. Tabata rows, getting himself down to 130 every 500 metres for those 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest, and then maintaining that 130 pace for the Tabata. We're at a stage where pretty much everything is supersetted, and the beginning of every session pretty much we also do some form of intervals just to raise that heart rate and hopefully start attacking a little bit more of that body fat.
In terms of my body change, I've lost a bit of fat to sort of around my face, my chest and shoulders have broadened. The old love handles are decreasing slowly but surely, which is fantastic. I think the proof of the pudding will be in my final DEXA body scan at the end of the 10 weeks. Today's session started with some interval sprints on the rower. After a few days off, I found it particularly difficult to get my breath back in the breaks, but got through about 6 minutes, which was good. Certainly got the heart rate up and a bit of a sweat on, which set us up nicely for the rest of the training session.
We did back squats into front squats using kettlebells. Ped in the past had an operation on his hip, and over the last week or so that's really been niggling. Obviously as the weights have increased and as the volumes increased, it's caused a little bit more problems, and just the fact now that we've been doing this for 8 weeks, previous to this Ped didn't do any resistance training, any weight training really, so this has been a bit of a shock to his body and certainly on that operated site.
We're keen to avoid not sort of ruling me out for the rest of the transformation, so we're taking it a little bit easy on that right hip.
With that operated site being a bit of a problem, we didn't do the hack squats or the deadlift, as I don't want to really load that hip. We went on to the leg press instead and did single leg press, so we can compare the good side to the bad side. Is the bad side a lot more painful because of that problem, or is it able to work, working the legs separately? And then we went into bodyweight split squats, and once we were happy that those were okay, we added 5 kilos in each hand. So not heavy, but just as a superset, it was just keeping the muscles under tension and extending the length of that set. So we did 3 sets on each leg, and that wasn't too bad. Then we just went into leg extension and leg curl, specifically because we don't have to weight the hip. We can just work through the joint of the knee, keep the hip stable, and that doesn't hurt Ped, so we work quite hard. 3 sets of each as a superset, and then on the 4th set of each we ditch the superset, we just work drop sets, dropping about 20-30% 3 times, just to really take the legs to fatigue. And Ped had a few little breaks in that and some curse words under his breath to get him through it, but it means it's doing the right thing.
So as per usual, Sean likes to have a finisher at the end of each session. So today included farmers walks with 16 kilo kettlebells and planks, just to really kill me off because he knows I particularly hate them. This had the required effects, and yeah, I certainly felt it today. The core stretches, reaching up from a lying position were particularly painful.
The last couple of weeks we are going to keep it as is at the moment. As I've said, we're going to avoid loading the hips, so our leg sessions will change slightly. We started moving away from just push and pull sessions, and it'll be a little bit more specific in terms of muscle groups, and taking it from simple supersets into maybe some trisets, and certainly for the last week some complexes. Keeping the intensity up is the key. Keep adding in the drop sets and the rest pause sets when we get to the last set, despite the trisets, complexes or supersets.
Click the left thumbnail to see another men's fitness writer go through an amazing body transformation, or click the right thumbnail for a workout that you can do from home.